Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, and in this video we're going to be talking about Assassin's Creed Origins, which is one of the more anticipated games of the year and of the fall. I know PC gamers and Assassin's Creed haven't had the best relationship over the last few years. We've had some very bad PC ports in regards to Assassin's Creed. The first Assassin's Creed game I played on PC that I noticed that there was some problems was Assassin's Creed 3. Assassin's Creed 4 was pretty good, and then we had Assassin's Creed Unity, and as you guys know, that is considered one of the worst PC ports of all time. And that game kind of stifled the popularity of Assassin's Creed on PC. Assassin's Creed Syndicate was actually a really good game. That game also had some issues on PC, not as much though. It was definitely a playable experience. But after Assassin's Creed Unity, people kind of just gave up on Assassin's Creed, and Syndicate ended up being like the worst performance-wise, commercially at least, after the train wreck that was Unity. Everybody just didn't give Syndicate a chance even, and that was kind of a shame because that game was really good. But now we have Assassin's Creed Origins, which is going back to the drawing board. It is an origin story, as the title would suggest, of how the Assassin Brotherhood came to be. I fully expect this game to be pretty good on PC. It's coming day and day with the console versions. That's usually a good thing. Typically, Assassin's Creed would release a few weeks after. And Origins is an attempt to kind of rebuild the fandom for the franchise, so having a bad PC port would kind of be a train wreck. I mean, it could happen, but that would be really, really stupid. You're just burying yourself even further. I think people looking at Origins, there are a lot of people that are willing to give the game a chance. And you know if it's a bad PC port, people are just going to exercise their right for a Steam refund. Moving right along, though, I want to go over the system requirements, which have just been revealed, and they are pretty tame, all things considered. For a minimum CPU requirement, you're looking at an Intel Core i5-2400S, that's a 2.5 GHz CPU, or an AMD FX 6350 at 3.9 GHz. Those are very lower end CPUs. The FX 6350 is a very old CPU. Back in the day, that was a really solid CPU. It was very cheap, and it was a 6-core processor, but nowadays, that's not much at all. And the Intel Core i5-2400S is a bit better. You're just gonna get better core-for-core performance out of that CPU, but at 2.5 gigahertz, you know, that's a pretty tame CPU as well. For recommended CPU requirement, you're going all the way up to an Intel Core i7-3770 at 3.5 gigahertz or an AMD FX 8350 at 4 gigahertz. Now, the 3770 is a far, far better CPU than the FX 8350. All that's really telling you is that if you have more than 4 cores, or if you have hyper-threading, this is a game that is going to take advantage of that. The i7-3770 and the 8350 are not comparable CPUs. The 3770 is way better, and at the time of these CPUs released, the 3770 was a far more expensive CPU. Moving on to what you guys care about, the video card. Minimum GPU requirement in NVIDIA GeForce GTX 660, that's very low end. I had that GPU back in like 2012, and to know that that can still run Assassin's Creed Origins, albeit at lower resolutions and lower settings, that's pretty nice to see. On the AMD side, you're looking at an R9 270, which again, pretty low end. And then the recommended GPU requirement, I would expect it to be a little bit higher. This surprised me a little bit. On the NVIDIA side, you're looking at an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 760 or an AMD R9 280X. Now, for the minimum requirement, that is for the lowest settings at 720p, but for the recommended requirements, they're saying that's for 1080p and high settings. So that's pretty surprising. A 760, an older GPU, 280X, same case, an older GPU. They are saying you should have 3 gigabytes of VRAM, so there's that. But still very low-end GPUs for a game. You know, I do consider this more of a higher-end game that's coming out this year. Maybe that harkens to the fact that this might be a well-optimized game, at least as far as GPUs go, and that would be a very good thing. We'll have to wait and see for the game to be released, but that's a good sign. And as far as RAM requirement, minimum is 6 gigabytes, recommended is 8 gigabytes, nothing too surprising there. A few years ago, minimum would typically be 4 gigabytes of RAM, recommended would be 8 gigabytes of RAM. Now you have 6 and 8, nothing too surprising there. Honestly, a little bit more surprised that it's not more than 8 gigabytes. A lot of games recently have been saying, you know, have 12 gigabytes, 16 gigabytes. This is one, again, pretty low end at 8 gigabytes. And yeah, that's all that's posted on the Ubisoft blog. I'll leave a link to that down below in the description box. They have an article going over everything as well, so you can check that out if you're interested. Let me know if you guys are excited for Assassin's Creed Origins. Once again, I do know that this is a game that PC gamers are a bit divided on. As some of you guys might know, I am an absolute sheep for the Assassin's Creed games. Yes, I know some of you guys might think, oh my god, you buy this yearly crap. Hey, they did take off last year, but yeah, I just love the open world style of sandbox adventure that Assassin's Creed offers. I don't know, it's just easy to play, it's easy to jump in, jump out, and yeah, these games are totally my cup of tea. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you have a request for a future video, you can also put that in the comments, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.